The WhatsApp number is 0809 444 981. You can also tweet at smooth981. And we're streaming live on our YouTube channel as well. So you can catch the live stream on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe. And you can even post a comment on there as well. And this morning, we're talking about Nigeria's oil and gas industry failing to bring in this much needed dollars. And our guest this morning is David Gwatau. He's an investment research analyst with ARM Securities. Good morning, David, and welcome to Business Express.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
All right. So we've got a new report on the oil and gas industry from ARM, and you're the author, or you're one of the authors of this report.
Yes,
Yes?
yes, I am.
Okay,
Yes,
brilliant,
right.
brilliant. So let's start off. Nigeria's inability to defend the currency at this time has been directly linked to not pumping enough oil to sell. And your report does look at the upstream sector. So what exactly is the problem, and why aren't we pumping enough oil?
Okay, thank you very much for that question. Um, so while oil remains a crucial source of foreign exchange for Nigeria, persistent challenges have hampered its production potential. The country has repeatedly fallen short of its OPEC quota over the years. Um, and this is primarily due to the crippling effects of pipeline vandalism and rampant oil theft. Additionally, new investments in the sector have been scarce, further hindering the sector's ability to maximize output. So I would say these are the problems, inhibiting efficient uh, production of oil.
All right, thank you for that. So how can this be turned around basically? Like how can we get back to pumping 2 million barrels every day or maybe even more?
All right. So revitalizing Nigeria's oil production to 2 million barrels per day or beyond demands a multifaceted approach that tackles immediate impediments while safeguarding future sustainability. Combating oil theft takes center stage, requiring coordinated efforts, enhanced security measures, equipped with drones and CCTV will also deter theft, while strengthened legal frameworks and efficient enforcement will deter and punish offenders. Additionally, I'll add that engaging with host communities impacted by oil activities, addressing their grievances, and fostering partnerships are crucial for the for the active participation in protecting resources. Also, attracting new investments is another crucial piece of the puzzle. Streamlining regulations and fiscal terms will entice internal investors, while focusing on deepwater exploration unlocks greater potential with lower theft risks.
All right. So the government has plans to pump 4 million barrels, at least by 2027. Some have said this is very
Sorry, can you come again?
ambitious. Is it achievable? At least by 2027. And some people are saying, well, these are very ambitious plans. Do you think it's something that can be achieved?
Um, So yes, they are very ambitious plans, right? I would say the aspirations, the oil production aspirations, it faces a daunting gap of about 1.5 million barrels per day to bridge between its current production capacity of about 2.5 million barrels per day, uh, compared to the government's target of 4 million barrels per day by 2027. I'd say bridging this gap will require significant infrastructure expansions across onshore and offshore infrastructure, encompassing pipelines, storage facilities, um, to which will all efficiently handle the surge in production. Government should also prioritize upgrades for aging and dilapidated infrastructure, focusing on areas with the highest impact on production bottlenecks. Additionally, more needs to be done in terms of fiscal reforms to attract investments within the sector. Uh, so I'll also like to add that while the 4 million barrels per day target holds, immediate economic appeal for Nigeria, I also believe that the government should also consider sustainability and economic diversification in light of the current green energy transitioning plans.
All right. Well, let us know what your thoughts are. The WhatsApp number is 0809 440 and 981. And you can also tweet at Smooth981 or just post a comment on our live stream up on our YouTube channel. It's Smooth981. David, let's talk about refining capacity. I mean, we all know the issues with the government-owned refineries. What is the story, though, with the modular refineries? Is there a reason why we haven't been able to just sort of ramp up the capacity for those refineries?
Okay. So in 2018, the DPR, which is Department of Petroleum Resources, under the NUPRC, which is the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, it granted a license for the establishment of modular refineries to 25 investors. However, only 6 investors were able to see their refinery projects to completion, amounting to a cumulative capacity of 41,000 barrels per day and raising Nigeria's total nameplate capacity by 8.97% to 40 486,000 barrels per day in 2021. So we see that the major challenges faced by investors in securing major challenges faced by investors for these modular refineries is in securing finances, right? It's in securing finances, considering the capital intensive nature of the refinery projects and and the investor and other financial institutions like banks' willingness to invest due to perceived risk involved in the unproven sector. So this has actually hampered, the development of modular refineries, let me say.
All right, thank you for that. We're speaking with David Gwatau. He's an investment research analyst from ARM Securities, and he's one of the authors on a report on Nigeria's oil and gas industry, and this comes from ARM Securities. Still on the refineries, is the Dangote refinery the answer to the problems, or can other modular refineries as well, common stream alongside?
Thank you very much for that question. Well, I'd say the Dangote refinery, being the largest single train refinery in Africa, with its 650,000 barrels per day nameplate capacity, it promises to be a game changer for Nigeria. Not only could it satiate domestic fuel demand, which would also eliminate dependency on imports, but it will also pave the way for lucrative exports. However, relying solely on this heavyweight might not be the wisest move. And here's why. While the Dangote refinery dominance is undeniable, introducing healthy competition into the market would act as a stabilizing force. It would prevent potential price manipulation and ensure consumer benefits from fairer fuel costs. So you can imagine multiple players vying for your business, right? Leading to better services and competitive pricing. Now that's the power of competition in action.
Mm. All right, let's look at a message coming through. This one is from Gilbert. Gilbert says, on oil theft in Nigeria, which has affected our oil output, there was an independent report presented to the oil industry in 2013, which stated clearly that oil theft was thriving in Nigeria. As a country, did we act on this report? I doubt that. That message comes from Gilbert Musa from Festac. Now let's move on to the downstream side. There are issues with supply. NATO, which is the National Association of video of field headlines on
Sorry,
our
can I take that
sort of
question again?
mayhem out there. So what exactly is happening?
Oh, okay.
All right,
Considering the
so let's talk about NATO. Yes, and they've called off the strike, but we're still seeing the fill queues. And yesterday it was almost insanity out there for people. What exactly is going on?
Oh, okay. So right now, I'll say there is no clear direction on what exactly is happening. However, in my own opinion, I believe that this is following the deregulation of the downstream oil sector, right, and also the unification of the FX markets. Uh, there has been a lot of FX illiquidity and FX scarcity. So for importers, post the regulation of the sector, which has allowed them to import petroleum products for themselves, they face this tight FX market, which has made it difficult for importers of oil products to access required funds to import sufficient fuel into the country. Um, but then looking at the immediate, the just the NATO strike, it could also be a lag effect of the proposed strike, right? So I mean, we as Nigerians, we know how Nigerians behave. So because of the proposed strike, probably some retail outlets will decide to close down and not sell in hopes of price appreciation going forward. But I mean, look, going forward, we expect to see everything return to normalcy in a short time.
All right. And okay, flashback last year, the president announced, subsidy is gone, right? And today, PMS is selling for 600 naira, certain parts of Lagos. Diesel is anywhere between 1,200, 1,300. Is there still a subsidy in place?
Mhm. Okay, so uh, as regards subsidy removal, so against the backdrop of the removal of PMS subsidy earlier in 2023, pump prices surged to over 600 naira per liter from below 200 naira per liter, right? The implementation of the FX window unification policy, right? It also caused the naira to significantly depreciate against the dollar, which is the currency in which oil products are being traded. So by that exerting pressure on the on the local markets. It was also worth noting that diesel prices are typically lower than PMS prices due to the higher cost of refining for PMS. This provides all this, together. They provide a strong arguments for PMS prices to have risen further if indeed subsidy has been removed. Um, Furthermore, considering the cost of PMS in other countries, other developed economies like the United States, uh, we see PMS price in the United States about 3.10 dollars per liter. Direct conversion to naira would be at current exchange rate to be above 5,000 naira per liter. So this also points to the fact that subsidy might still be at play here. Um, but I think we should also consider the fact that the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, also mentioned that although subsidies might be removed, the government will intervene as it deems necessary, through various fiscal interventions. The government have not said anything in this regards, but we believe that the government might probably be intervening somehow, and we can never know until they say something about it.
Okay, in just about 30 seconds, your report touches on the Petroleum Industry Act. Is it still relevant today? And will Nigeria yield any gains from it?
Oh, yes, yes, very much. The Petroleum Industry Act, it remains highly relevant, targeting critical gaps in the sector with the ambitious goal of unlocking efficiency and growth. So, the PIA is actually meant to fix problems that have been, consistent with the oil and gas sector for years. It's meant to be reformative. So it is very much still very much relevant, and we will still be seeing its effects and as implementation goes on going forward.
All right. Well, thank you so much, David, for being on the show with us this morning.
Thank you very much for having me.
That was David Gwatau, Investment Research Analyst, ARM Securities. That's it for Business Express. Thanks for listening. Thanks for your messages. And stay with us. There is a lot more to